Okay, I'm David Buckland. I'm the director of Cape Farewell, and this is my 2020 vision for the future. Just a brief introduction onto Cape Farewell. It started 10 years ago, and it was very clear that the scientists had a real problem because they knew that climate change is a total reality and we have to deal with it, but they couldn't get any of that information out into the media. And what we thought was, well, wait a minute, maybe their language was wrong. So maybe we had to reinvent a language that the public would pick up on. Not scientific data or information, but actually find a different kind of way of talking to the public about climate change. And we did this through inviting the whole cultural sector. You know, our best writers, our best communicators, best film people, took them up into the Arctic, worked on, which is the front line of climate change, and just evolved this whole new way of talking through film, through novels, through editorial, through press, of actually saying, wait a minute, climate, you have to embrace it and you have to understand it. But then you came to the amazing realization that actually scientists are not causing climate change. Actually, the cause of climate change is the way we live. We've evolved over the last 200 years a way of living that's got deeply wasteful in terms of polluting the atmosphere. And we've got to change that. It's that simple. And if we change that one fact, we can then have a sustainable future. So at the end of the day, it's a cultural responsibility. It's the way we live. So getting all of the artists and the writers and all of the cultural kind of messages on board to actually address this issue is the way of finding a way through and saying, wait a minute, let's look at our lives, let's change the way we live, and come on, we can really evolve into a much better society that's totally sustainable, that's totally exciting, but without any of the major pitfalls that we actually have in our society at the moment. So climate change is this huge opportunity of switching from a society right now which is not, it's not perfect. We can actually make something much, much better. And there's a lovely little anecdote. We actually put comedian Marcus Brigstock on board with us. And we said to him, Marcus is fantastic. He said, why do you have to look at climate change as a tragedy? Let's make it a comedy. And so he does this brilliant comedy routine about climate change and about society and about where we live. And he says a very lovely thing. He says, Martin Luther King came up and said, wait a minute, I've had a nightmare. The world is just going to be a disaster. Nobody's going to buy into it. So if you kind of go, hey, I've had a dream, I've got a better future, then everybody wants to get on board. And that's exactly where we're coming from. Let's say this is something that is, it's a dream. Let's build something wonderful and new, and let's go for it.